Welcome to My Career Pathways. There will be 2 series addressing all the options we have following our high school graduation.
Finding the right job is important. Learning how to get that job and knowing how to train for that career field is essential to our planning.
Of course, My Colorado Journey or your counselors can help. Women in science, think again.
People think that these careers are just for guys. Just watch Carrie Kaufman, who is also a scientist with Battelle.
Women in science.
Hi, my name is Carrie Kaufman, and I serve as the laboratory manager for the Battelle Memorial Institute at Pueblo Chemical Agent Destruction Pilot Plant, or just PCAP. PCAP's primary mission is the safe destruction of stockpile chemical warfare material known as mustard gas. The plant neutralizes the mustard in a controlled facility under ventilation and then feeds the resulting waste to the bioreactors to clean and recycle water back into the facility. The laboratory is critical in supporting the plant by measuring for the presence of mustard gas in air, as well as in solids and liquids. Additionally, the laboratory supports the analysis of solids and liquids for other harmful chemicals to support the safe disposal of generated waste. Staff working for the PCAP laboratory generally have a chemistry and/or other science-related degree. My path toward my role as the laboratory manager was not the stereotypical science story. At a young age, I was highly competitive in all things Mario, and I played basketball and softball. Later, I started playing viola with orchestra, and then found a passion for rock music where I played guitar and drums. As with my extracurricular activities, my classes in high school were also diverse. My electives ranged from veterinary science, art, Spanish, orchestra, and computer programming. I enjoyed learning a wide range of subjects with no obvious signs I was destined for science. In my junior year of high school, I took college prep chemistry and noted that I seemed to have a high aptitude for the subject. I enjoyed the lectures and the labs and received nearly perfect scores in all my assignments and tests. In the following year, my senior year, I took biochemistry class where I recalled making soap by studying the chemical reaction saponification, and then developed various scents such as wintergreen and banana through the chemical reaction esterification. At that time, I started thinking I wanted to pursue a career as a medical doctor. When I researched degrees associated with pre-med, my options were either biology, chemistry, or biochemistry. And although I enjoyed biology and biochemistry, the idea of controlling chemical reactions fascinated me. At that time, I certainly did not deem myself as a chemist, but rather an individual who enjoyed the subject. Studying it in college was perhaps the best impromptu decision I have ever made. Upon graduation, I attended Lebanon Valley College, a small local liberal arts college located near my hometown in Pennsylvania. Although I was focused on the sciences, the liberal arts education satisfied my curiosity in other subjects. I was able to take a wide variety of classes like history of music, sociology, anthropology, French, and even rock climbing. To increase my exposure to different career opportunities, I also started pursuing summer internships. My first year, I worked for the USDA, collecting leaf samples from properties in efforts to control the spread of the plumpox virus in trees and shrubs. It was a long and hot summer filled with animals and leaves. It further confirmed biology was just not for me. The next summer, I was afforded the opportunity to work for the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation in the material testing lab. My job was to simulate the breakdown of stones used in constructions of roads during the freeze-thaw cycle of the seasons. Stones were separated by sized, weighed, and soaked in sodium sulfate. Rinse and repeat. The job was interesting, but extremely repetitive. Clearly, I enjoyed the laboratory, but shied away from that repetitiveness. After speaking with my advisor regarding this, he suggested that I was better suited for research work. He offered me a position in the laboratory to study the development of environmentally friendly catalysts for industrial processes. My summer was spent reading scientific literature, synthesizing nanocatalysts, and studying reactions. I was fully enamored with research, and as such, I decided to forgo medical school and pursue a graduate degree in chemistry. In support of my undergraduate research, I attended a university that had a well-developed graduate research program. I toured many laboratory groups, but one field caught my attention: laser spectroscopy. I've never seen something so complex and foreign, and I was driven to work in this field. I applied to a wide range of schools that had similar research programs, and I was ecstatic to get accepted into the top programs in the United States. Upon graduating with a BS degree in chemistry and a minor in mathematics, I attended University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign as a physical chemist. As a graduate, I joined Dr. Benjamin McCall's research group, whose focus was in the field of astrochemistry. Our group consisted of physical chemists, physicists, and astronomers who desired to simulate molecular ions in the laboratory to understand the chemistry in the interstellar medium. I learned how to computer program and work with highly complex optical systems. I even designed and built my own equipment. My experience in graduate school was highly impactful, as it not only taught me that I was capable of learning a new and challenging field of study, but I learned that I enjoyed applied chemistry as opposed to solely research. Upon graduating with my master's in chemistry, I started my career with Battelle in the demilitarization group. I've been so fortunate to start my career with a company that greatly aligns with my passion to solve complex technical problems using science. Every year or so, I've been challenged in a new area, such as demilitarization laboratory work, internal research development of air monitoring equipment, environmental remediation, proposal and project management, and starting a laboratory from the ground up. I've lived and traveled all over the country, such as Utah, Colorado, Maryland, Alabama, and Ohio. In addition to the technical aspects, Battelle serves as a nonprofit company that gives $8 to $11 million annually to philanthropic organizations and to target a majority of these funds to STEM education initiatives. This has given me the opportunity to work with both middle and high school students to help them discover the passion for chemical reactions just as I did when I was their age. My message for any student interested in the science field is to continue exploring various subjects in high school and college. Challenge yourself to try new things and different opportunities. Most importantly, maintain your confidence as you develop and pursue these passions.
I am inspired by Ms. Kaufman taking so many different courses in college to find her passion.
Why not learn all that you can along the way too?
Our next featured employer is a large steel-making company who also believes in recycling.
They come from Regina, Red Deer, Calgary, and Camrose. They hail from Portland and Pueblo. They're electricians, welders, and metallurgists, engineers, operators, and managers, analysts, sales professionals, and technicians. They are the pedigree of successful companies, the best of the best, a whole melting pot of talent, all coming together to make steel. Long steel, flat steel, tubular steel. Can you see us? Because everywhere you look, you see the products of our products. Steel, the backbone of North America. Yes, we make steel, but our real strength is our people, molding and shaping a special place in the industry by being more responsive to our customers with shorter lead times, on-time delivery, smart inventory management, and a wide range of internal capabilities at facilities across North America. Individuals all, yet sharing the same DNA, creating value for our customers and our brand, demonstrating passion for improvement, leading with humility and remembering where we came from, showing ownership of results, collaborating and communicating, and putting safety where it always belongs, first. We're strong, but not flashy. We're confident, but never arrogant. We celebrate our success and learn from our experiences. We're seekers, listeners, teachers. So, who are we? We are Evraz. Individually, we may be impressive, but put us all together, and we're unbeatable. One approach, one mission, one company, one name. Evraz.
I loved their statement about being a melting pot of talent.
Looks like all career clusters can find a career with them.
And did you know that 90% of the electricity for the steel mill will come from a solar farm that will be the largest east of the Rocky Mountains?
Making steel using energy from the sun. That's so cool, and helping the environment at the same time.
There are other options for a career right out of high school other than going to college if you choose so.
No way.
Way. Just watch.
Hi, my name is Jacobo Varela, U.S. Army veteran and the Director of Veterans Upward Bound at CSU Pueblo, Pueblo Community College, and Pikes Peak Community College. I'm here to tell you what I wish I knew before joining the military straight out of high school. Although joining the military may not be your first choice, it can be a great option for people. The military provided me with many opportunities, including training, travel, and money for college. In fact, I was able to use my GI Bill benefits that I earned in service to pay for my entire college education, and I graduated with zero debt. However, the decision to join the military is one that shouldn't be taken lightly. The military is an all-encompassing endeavor. For 24 hours a day, you are part of the military. It is a life of service, far beyond what the civilian world ever experiences. It can be extremely rewarding, but at the same time extremely challenging. There are many ways to enter the service, from service academies to normal enlistment. Each has their benefit and their difficulties. First, let's discuss the difference between enlisted personnel and officers. Enlisted personnel generally join the military with no training or experience and are often considered the lowest ranking members of the military. However, there are many opportunities for leadership and promotion to help an individual grow and develop. Officers, on the other hand, are expected to have at least a college degree prior to service. Officers are considered the true leadership of the military and are paid significantly more. Next, you should know the differences between each branch of the military. The Army is the oldest branch of the U.S. military. Their basic combat training lasts 10 weeks and involves 3 phases. Army basic training is tough compared to many other branches, but not quite as tough as the Marines. The majority of bases are in the U.S., but there are bases located all over the world. Popular jobs are infantryman, combat engineer, armor crewman, and many more. The Navy has the most base locations on the coast. Most jobs require time at sea, and you may spend months at a time on a boat. Basic training is at the Naval Station in Great Lakes, Illinois, and lasts 8 weeks. Jobs are grouped into these categories: aviation, construction, medical, administration, deck, technical, weapons specialist, engineering, and hull. The Marines are considered the toughest of the group, with most jobs focusing on combat arms. Basic training takes place at 2 locations, Parris Island, South Carolina, and in San Diego, California, and it lasts for 14 weeks. There are 3 phases. Marine boot camp is the toughest of all the branches. They are the first to fight when in war and may be deployed for significant amounts of time. The Air Force is the youngest and one of the most well-funded branches of the military. They have tougher educational requirements to get in than the Army, Navy, and Marine branches. They also have the most similar lifestyle to civilians compared to other branches. Basic training lasts 8.5 weeks at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. Air Force basic training is not as physically demanding and focuses more on marching, Air Force customs, drills, etc. Airmen generally do not see combat. Pilots and security forces are the exception. The Coast Guard is the smallest branch in the military. They involve law enforcement, sea rescue, ocean safety, and many other jobs. Basic training takes place in Cape May, New Jersey, and lasts 8 weeks. Recruits choose from 23 jobs and can be transferred to the Department of the Navy during wars and conflict. The National Guard and the Reserves are additional choices for those considering the military and are considered part-time options for the normal branches. So now let's talk about military service academies. These are extremely competitive institutions of higher learning, equal to the Ivy League colleges. As such, you need to begin preparing for entrance to these academies early in your middle school and high school career. In order to even be considered, you must receive a nomination from either a congressman or a senator. I recently interviewed over 50 applicants for Senators Gardner and Bennett. The criteria is high. Good grades are great, but sports, leadership, and community service are all highly considered. There are 5 different academies: the Naval Academy, the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, West Point, the U.S. Coast Guard Academy, and the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. Graduates of these academies go on to become military officers and leaders in our country. Graduates of these academies have gone on to lead the military, become ambassadors, congressmen, senators, and even presidents of the United States. Another path to becoming an officer is through the Reserve Officer Training Corps, also known as ROTC. These are college programs that prepare students to be officers in the military. The military provides scholarships and a guaranteed post-secondary career in exchange for commitment to serve as an officer after college graduation. Students apply for the scholarship during their senior year in high school. In most cases, some branches have 2 to 3 year scholarships for college students as well. Each branch has their own ROTC program. You have Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force ROTCs. ROTC programs are offered at various colleges and universities, but like everything else, do your research and prepare. If you already have a bachelor's degree or choose to enlist first, you could still become an officer by applying to the preferred branch's Officer Candidate School. Becoming an officer is competitive and requires preparation. Expect to show strong academics, participation in athletics, and leadership. Also, know that you will need to be physically fit and capable of meeting the military physical and weight requirements. The other way to join is through enlistment. The great thing about this option is that you need 0 experience to join up. In order to enlist, you must be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, have a high school diploma or GED, be at least 18 years old, or get your parents' permission if you're 17. And then you need to take an ASVAB test to determine the eligibility for the jobs. You got to pass a physical exam, and you have to meet weight limits. You cannot have chronic illnesses or be on long-term medication, i.e. inhalers, insulin, or antidepressants. And you must be able to pass a drug test. There are a variety of benefits of enlistment. First and foremost, a career right out of high school. It can also help you develop as a leader, help you travel, and it provides good funding for education via the GI Bill and other financial support when you're in. Also, it provides you an opportunity to serve your country in a very direct way. The important thing with enlistment is that the recruiters are essentially salespeople and can push you into jobs that you may not want. I suggest taking someone with you and go armed with knowledge. You can always walk away if they're not offering what you want. Take control of the situation and find out what you want to do before even walking in the office. Military service is vital to the security of our country, and we need new leadership and engagement from the next generation. Although it's not for everyone, the military can provide some amazing opportunities, especially for those folks that may not be able to pay for college or want a different kind of life experience. College can be very expensive, and student debt is something that should be avoided as much as possible. The military can be a great option for you. The most important thing is to research. Ask questions and then research some more. The more you do this, the more control you will have over your outcomes. Good luck in all of your endeavors. I wish you the very best. Thank you very much.
Joining the military and letting that service pay for my college, if I decide to go, is a great option.
I had no idea there were that many branches of service to serve our country.
And I loved his play on words, armed with knowledge.
That's where we're headed. Fully loaded too. After all, they say, knowledge is power.
Apprenticeships are offered in the building construction trade so we can get on-the-job training for a career field that will have several openings, especially if you enjoy working with your hands and admiring your work.
Plus, most have excellent benefits and pay. Some apprenticeships may require union membership, so you need to know those benefits too. Let's listen.
Do apprenticeships qualify as post-secondary training after high school, since 75% of Colorado's jobs will require training past high school?
Absolutely. And no student debt if they are career fields you are interested in as you apply for an apprenticeship.
Great opportunity, and no college degree required. Have you thought about getting your first job and what you do on the first day?
Get super scared and look for the lunchroom?
Good start, but here are some really great insights to help you navigate your way.
Hi, my name is Shannon Behling, and I'm the Human Resource Director at Chavez Huerta K-12 Preparatory Academy. We are a college prep charter school here in Pueblo. I am here today to tell you what you can expect when you enter the workforce from the human resources perspective. First, simply put, the Human Resources Department of any organization is responsible for all employee-related operations. When applying for a job, you will be dealing with the HR department all the way through the hiring process. When you are applying for a job, please be sure to create a resume that really highlights your strengths and include any education or certifications you may have or be working towards. Once you get an interview, show up looking your best and try to be confident in your answers to their questions. Always do your research on the position and the company you are interviewing for, because you can answer interview questions more naturally if you are knowledgeable about the job and the company overall. Don't be afraid to ask questions and take your time when responding to the interview team. Once you are hired, get familiar with the company's policies and follow them. Try to do your best each workday and you will be sure to succeed. Always be punctual and try not to call off unless it's absolutely unavoidable. This will show you have a strong work ethic and you are reliable. Never be afraid to ask your supervisor questions about their expectations of you, and always let them know if there's something you need in order to perform your job better. If you are hired with an organization that offers benefits and perks, be sure to learn about them and take advantage. For example, if they offer tuition reimbursement or assistance programs, this is a great way to further your education and reduce your out-of-pocket costs for doing so. Be sure to ask the HR representative about the insurance benefits that are offered and ask questions to choose the best options for you. I know many of you probably have not thought a whole lot about getting your first job, but the time to do so will be here faster than you know it. As you enter your high school years, keep in mind that the decisions you make now can and will follow you into your adult life. Make good decisions, be polite, and understand that kindness will go further than anger. My grandma always told me to remember that you get more bees with honey, so put your stinger away. I will end by saying the best advice I can give you is to always be true to yourself. Never burn bridges with people because you never know when you may need to cross that bridge again. And stay focused on what makes your life happy.
I had no idea about all those issues in a new job.
I am going to keep this one like a reference book. Digital skills for everyone showcases why we need them.
Technology is all around us, and we have to make sure we're prepared.
Before I started these classes, I used to work in an office. I realized that the knowledge that I had was kind of limited.
When I was laid off, it was absolutely terrifying. I knew something had to change.
Everything is based on computers nowadays, and you need to know computers to get a good job.
Configurando una cuenta de Google.
Some of the challenges our students face when they're applying for jobs start from how to use the computer.
Today we're going to work on creating a professional resume.
Google Applied Digital Skills works great for us. This is a free video curriculum that can teach anyone basic digital skills.
It was really easy to balance mommy duties with my educational priorities.
When you learn digital skills, you could progress your career, you could expand your business, you could change your life. When we're stronger as a community, we all grow.
It's one thing to ask a person to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but it's cruel when that person has no boots. Digital skills gives you boots.
It's an amazing transformation. They're different people.
When you lift up one person, you lift up the entire community.
I feel like I'm now ready to be able to compete. It's empowering to have that knowledge that nobody can take away from you.
Thanks, Google, for laying it all out there.
Do you have a resume?
I do, but I'm not sure if it's my golden ticket.
So watch this. Take notes.
Hello, my name is Janay McLemore, and I'm a professional resume writer and career coach. I am a proud Pueblo native and have a bachelor's degree in human resource management from Colorado State University. One of the biggest parts of my career is hiring employees and looking at their resumes. So let's get started on prepping you for your future. No matter what age you are, one of the biggest selling points of your life is your resume. And why? Because your whole life is wrapped up into 1 to 2 pieces of paper. From when you get your first job earning money to when you begin a career you have always dreamed about. This document is considered a living document because it grows, changes, and morphs as you progress with your career choices. A resume can make or break you when it comes to finding a job or landing your dream career, so treat it as your golden ticket. A resume sounds boring and for the most part looks boring, but it is a highlight of your talents, skills, and professionalism. The main components of a resume should be your personal information, education, skills, work history, and other accolades and extracurricular activities like clubs, sports, and volunteer activities. Your personal information is info consisting of your name, address, phone number, and email address. This is the first thing that an employer looks at. Make sure your name is spelled correctly, your address has your street number, your street name, your city, and your state and zip code, and is properly punctuated. Email addresses are professional and complete. By professional, you would not want to have an email that says lovesonicblizzards@gmail.com or similar emails like this. Cute, but not professional. Your skills section is everything that you can do that would help you advance in your employment area. Focus on skills you are currently learning or skills you have learned. For example, can you type? Do you know how to operate a computer? Are you good at social media platforms? Do not forget soft skills such as promptness, professionalism, time management, and good social skills. Focus on things that you are good at, and never lie or fluff skills that you have not mastered or skills that are not true. Work history is a very big part of a resume, and most professionals will look at this section in depth. Though you may not have any large work history, now remember a few things about what employers are looking for. Number 1, are you reliable? Employers do not like to see big gaps in work history or multiple jobs on a resume. They want to know you are loyal and looking for a career. Number 2, consistency is key. Showing that you can put time into a job is also important. For example, if a potential employee comes in and they have 12 jobs on their work history in a 6-month span, this shows that there may be some issues with that person's consistency and job retention, versus a person who comes in and has 3 jobs over 6 years. Keep this in mind as you begin your work history. Though most of you probably do not have jobs at this exact moment, begin to think of other things that can help you show drive, ambition, and consistency. Think about programs or volunteering you have done or can do. Do you help out at church? Are you part of MYLIFE? Do you have any community service? If the answer is yes, you can use this to start filling in the gaps of your resume. If the answer is no, think of some places that you can volunteer during the summer or during school breaks or weekends. Some places that I have volunteered for are my local church, the Pueblo City County Library District, and the Pueblo Police Department. Though I was not paid for these positions, I learned a great deal of skill sets, such as communication, computer skills, and professionalism. Remember that your resume is your calling card, and it is the document that best describes your skills, employment, and accomplishments. It is a document that will grow and morph as you progress in your professions. So ask yourself this question: what will people think of me when they see my resume? On a side note, My Colorado Journey, a website you may be using for your ICAPs, has a great resume builder to help you start your own resume now and build upon it.
I need to watch this one again.
The best part is it will be on YouTube for us to access whenever we want to.
We have learned a lot about opportunities available to us after graduating high school.
Yes, but here's another one which offers us more in-depth information.
One of my first memories as an apprentice lineman was my first time ever closing in a fuse. I saw the whole town light up, and right then I knew I wanted to be a lineman. The pay is great, the environment's great,
It's kind of neat when you go out there and you find a problem and you fix it for a customer.
Different challenge every day.
I like the independence.
The excitement of it. Every day something new. You never know what you're going to be doing when you show up for work.
Working with the guys, the camaraderie in this department is just amazing.
You can be in the middle of a job task, you get a phone call that somebody hit a pole or the power went out somewhere.
Just to be a first responder, to get to go on storms, pretty humbling to see that devastation and be able to come in there and those people are waiting on you.
You pull into the city and it's like, wow, we've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Your work is in all sorts of extreme temperatures and weather.
Everybody's on the same page, trying to accomplish the same goal, make sure everything's done safely and get the power restored correctly.
You're always thinking, man, can I get one more person back in power?
You know, you hear kids cheering and, you know, everybody's just excited to have their electricity back. It gives you a good feeling.
When you come home from work, you've known you've done something that a lot of people can't.
It's not a job for everybody. You respond in the middle of the night, working in extreme cold and extreme heat.
It is a physically demanding job, but it's not something that a woman can't do.
It is a hazardous job, and you got to be aware and trust the people that you work with.
Everybody watches everybody's back, and it's always, safety's always first on your mind.
Yeah, Xcel's safety program is an excellent program. Safety is just part of our everyday culture.
The big thing is you want to go home every day. You want to go home to your family. That's why you do this.
You know, right now we look for people that have taken a line training course through a trade school, and then we would hire them into Xcel, and they would then be put into an apprenticeship program.
It's a 4-year apprenticeship. You're doing classroom work, you're doing outside work, you're going with different crews, different linemen every single day.
Well, being an apprentice, really all your focus is learning your craft and perfecting to become a journeyman lineman. And beyond that, there's lots of possibilities for your career to take.
A lot of our managers that are here now are in some way, shape, or form, you know, a former lineman.
It's a very good career path, and I know that this isn't the end of the road for me. I know that if there are many jobs that I could move into if I want to.
Xcel's a great place to work. The pay and the benefits are far and above a lot of the companies that you'll find nowadays.
And this is a great place to work for our vets.
Because military is based on a lot of regiment and procedures. This job requires you to do things a certain way all the time, otherwise you're running into problems.
If this is a trade you want to pursue, you got to be willing to make a commitment to the trade. It's a lifestyle as much as it is a career.
For a successful candidate, I'd say somebody that's ambitious and isn't scared to get out there and get dirty sometimes.
It's the kind of job for people who like to pay attention to detail.
Not being afraid of heights is a plus.
Someone forward-thinking. You also want to have a sense of teamwork.
Push yourself to do your best, and you find yourself in a very good field.
Whenever you build a new line and sit back and look at 3 or 4 miles of new construction and seeing the wire in the air and knowing that you just accomplished that.
You can drive by and it's like, yeah, I put that pole back up. Yeah, that's my work, yeah.
And it's going to be there for years and years. You're putting your signature on the world and it's saying there, I built this, we built this, and this is ours.
It's a pretty good feeling.
I'm happy to be a lineman, and that's my passion.
What was most important to you from part 1?
So many options, but feeling I need to start building my resume now.
And you guessed it, My Colorado Journey has a resume builder you can add to over the years.
Until next time, know what path you are on your journey to success.